Calaroga Shark Media. Hello and welcome to Murder Weekly. This episode is titled Predator in the Shadows.
The serene atmosphere of the city zoo was shattered by a horrifying discovery. Alyssa Parker, a 32-year-old social media influencer renowned for her bold wildlife selfies, was found lifeless in the lion's cage. Her tragic demise quickly became the talk of the town, drawing immediate attention from the media and law enforcement. A rumpled detective arrived at the scene. As he started his investigation, a familiar red Jeep Wrangler parked in the vicinity caught his attention. It was a peculiar coincidence, echoing a detail from one of his recent cases. However, before the detective could delve into his investigation, Captain Marcus Donovan, a prominent figure in the local police department known for his arrogance and assertiveness, had limped over. Why Donovan didn't just take early retirement given his injury didn't make sense. The detective said, "Shame they had to put the lion down. Majestic creature." Donovan ignored the statement. "Detective, this is a straightforward case. I'm taking over. It's clearly an accident. She was probably trying to get a selfie too close to the lions," Captain Donovan stated dismissively, gesturing for the detective to step aside. Despite his reservations, the detective had no choice but to comply. But as he observed from a distance, certain inconsistencies nagged at him. Alyssa's phone was found outside the cage, contrary to her usual practice of keeping it in hand for selfies. Additionally, there were no signs of a struggle or attempts to escape. As the investigation proceeded, several red herrings emerged. A zookeeper with a criminal record, a rival influencer with a known feud against Alyssa, a jealous ex-boyfriend, and a mysterious figure seen near the lion's cage on the night of the incident. It seemed to the detective that every case seemed to have the same patterns lately. The detective navigated to Alyssa Parker's Instagram profile, her posts a vibrant array of her adventurous life. A particular post caught his eye. A glamorous photo of Alyssa at a recent Rolling Stones concert. She was dressed in a chic, rock-inspired outfit, posing with the concert stage in the background. The detective noted the following comments under the post. Jaggerfan45, "Wow, you're on fire! Mick Jagger's got nothing on you!" #RockGoddess. Captain Don, "Impressive as always, Alyssa. Your sense of adventure never ceases to amaze." Zoo Guy Tom, "Rockin' the night, but don't forget, the real adventure is waiting at the zoo." Lisa in the City, "Absolutely stunning, girl. That outfit is everything. #fashion goals." Wrangler 88, "A beauty and a thrill seeker, a dangerous combo. Be careful out there." In the replies Alyssa had written, "At Zoo Guy Tom, looks like I've got my next adventure planned. I'll be at the zoo on Wednesday capturing some wild moments. Maybe I'll see you there. #PhotoOp, #WildWednesday." The detective opened a new tab and typed in Lion Cam. Lion Cam, a hidden camera intended to capture the majestic beasts in their habitat for a wildlife documentary, now served a grimmer purpose. The detective leaned closer as the footage played. On the screen, the magnificent lion, king of its enclosure, lay with a regal yet lazy posture, its mane catching the soft light filtering into the cage. The lion's eyes, keen and observant, seemed to follow the movements outside its domain with a disinterested yet aware gaze. The timestamp on the footage indicated the evening of Alyssa Parker's death. The detective watched intently as Alyssa appeared on the screen. She was outside the enclosure, her phone held up for what would be her last selfie. Her expression was one of excitement mixed with a hint of daring, a trademark of her social media persona. As Alyssa positioned herself for the perfect shot, the footage showed a brief moment of distraction. Her eyes glancing away from her phone, possibly at a sudden movement or sound. In that split second, her footing faltered. The detective watched as Alyssa lost her balance, her arms flailing in a desperate attempt to regain stability. The scene was heart-wrenching. Alyssa tumbled forward, and as she fell, her phone slipped from her grasp, clattering against the ground outside the cage. The lion, roused by the commotion, lifted its head, its expression one of curiosity rather than aggression. But nature has its ways, and the lion had spotted a delicious meal. The detective clicked on Monkey Cam. This camera, positioned to capture the antics of the zoo's playful primates, also offered a wider view of the pathways surrounding various enclosures, including that of the lions. As the detective scanned through the footage, his attention was caught by a figure moving in the distance. It was a man, limping slightly, a distinctive gait that suggested an old injury or discomfort. The detective leaned in closer, enhancing the image. His heart rate quickened as he recognized the man. It was Captain Donovan. The timestamp on the footage indicated it was from the same evening as Alyssa's tragic fall. Donovan, unaware of the monkey cam's watchful eye, moved with a purposeful stride towards the lion's enclosure. The detective observed Donovan's demeanor. There was a tension in his posture, an urgency that seemed out of place. As Donovan neared the lion's cage, the footage from the monkey cam overlapped with what the detective had seen on the lion cam. He watched as Donovan paused, looking around cautiously before making a sudden, startling movement, a loud clap or a thrown object. It was hard to tell from the footage. This action coincided precisely with the moment Alyssa looked up, distracted from her selfie. The detective watched as she stumbled and fell, her phone dropping to the ground outside the cage, just as he had seen in the previous footage. The detective casually approached Captain Donovan's office, a calculated nonchalance in his demeanor. He knocked lightly on the open door, catching Donovan's attention. "Captain Donovan, got a minute? Just wondering how the investigation into Alyssa Parker's incident is going," Mercer inquired, his tone deliberately light. Donovan, sitting behind his desk cluttered with paperwork, looked up with a dismissive air. "It's pretty much wrapped up. Tragic accident, that's all. She was too close to the lions, probably trying for one of her selfies. Case closed." Mercer nodded, seemingly satisfied, but as he turned to leave, he paused at the doorway. "Oh, one more thing, Captain. Have you ever checked out the zoo's monkey cam?"
Murder Weekly is a Calaroga Shark media production, written and hosted by Aidan I. Flanagan, produced by Mark Francis, executive producers Mark Francis and John McDermott. Calaroga Shark Media.